Russian soldier trying to hide from a drone. Soldiers who can't escape the traps. Russian tank exploding in flames. Ukraine airstrike. Hidden shelters. Radar shot down. HIMARS attack. Soldiers giving up. Armored vehicles destroyed. Stay tuned for more. April 23rd, 2025, northeast of the village of Ivano-Darivka, a Russian soldier was spotted next to a destroyed Novata SBA. Seeing the Ukrainian drones following him, he decided to hide under the vehicle, but this did not save him from the drones. Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drones targeted the Russian soldier. After surviving the first attack, the Russian soldier was attacked a second time. This one hit right under the car. The Russian soldier lost his life there. 2 Russian soldiers on motorcycles are targeted by a kamikaze drone of Ukrainian forces. 1 Russian soldier survived the attack but has nowhere to run. Despite his best efforts, the wounded Russian soldier was unable to survive the second attack. June 20th, 2025. A Russian soldier caught by reconnaissance drones of the Ukrainian 3rd Assault Brigade takes a break to rest. However, standing in this open area was his biggest mistake. The attacking FPV drone fell very close to the Russian soldier. The Russian soldier was hit by fragmentation rounds ricocheting off the drone. June 22nd, 2025. 110th Mechanized Brigade detected Russian troops near the village of Shevchenko in Donetsk region. FPV drone strikes have begun against Russian troops who have turned abandoned houses into cover. The Russian soldier, trapped in the ruins by the attack, tries to escape, but a second attack comes. June 20th, 2023. Ukrainian forces detect Russian air defense vehicle 9K-33 OSA. In a very short period of time, a very effective pinpoint hit was made on the air defense system with howitzers. In a single shot, the Russian air defense system was completely destroyed. In the Dovy district of Belgorod, a reconnaissance aircraft of the Ukrainian forces located the Russian Murom-M surveillance complex. The surveillance device was destroyed using Ukrainian FPV kamikaze. Russian soldiers are seen inside another house. Immediately, a FPV drone is launched by Ukrainian soldiers. FPV drone enters through the window of the house and explodes inside the house. The bombs placed on the drones are not only explosive, but also flammable. June 23rd, 2025. Ukrainian Air Force aircraft carried out 2 airstrikes, allegedly with hammer bombs, on a building housing Russian military personnel. On June 23rd, 2025, FPV drones from the UAREG unit of Ukraine's 8th Separate Special Forces Regiment carried out a high-impact operation in the Kursk region. The mission involved the deployment of approximately 30 kamikaze drones targeting a key Russian logistics route. June 19th. Ukrainian Special Forces hit a large group of Russians with an FPV drone in the Sumy region. After the first drone strike, M142 HIMARS attacked the seriously wounded soldiers. With a huge explosion, all Russian soldiers were neutralized. The coordinated strikes hit a variety of high-value targets, including a motorcyclist scout, groups of Russian infantry moving on foot, armored vehicles, and several ammunition transport trucks. The drone footage captured direct hits and secondary explosions, indicating the presence of volatile cargo. The operation disrupted the supply flow to Russian frontline units and inflicted both logistical and personnel losses. June 20th, south of the village of Vasile in the Donetsk region, a Russian MTU-20 tank bridge-building vehicle was detected by the Ukrainian 141st Mechanized Division on its way to build a crossing over a tank ditch, intercepted and destroyed by an FPV drone strike by Ukrainian forces. The multi-million-dollar military vehicle belonging to the Russian army was destroyed by drone in just a few seconds. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, a Russian dugout was destroyed by a Wild Hornets drone funded by Ukrainian streamer Legiba. The operation was conducted by the Bulava unit of the 3rd Mechanized Battalion of the Presidential Brigade. Ukrainian fiber optic drones and standard FPVs destroyed Russian equipment in the Lyman direction in an operation by the Signum Battalion. On June 20th, Ukrainian wormbusters from the 414th UAS Brigade destroyed a Russian ground-based unmanned vehicle in the Pokrovsk direction. These ground UAVs, increasingly used by Russian forces, are typically deployed for frontline reconnaissance, ammunition delivery, or evacuation of wounded personnel under fire. The vehicle was detected and tracked using aerial surveillance before being eliminated with precision. June 23, 2025. A kamikaze attack was carried out by Ukrainian forces on a roadblock of Russian forces in Mykolaiv, Kharkiv region. One Russian soldier was seriously wounded in the first attack. Sometime later, when other Russian soldiers came to pick up the wounded soldier, a second kamikaze attack was carried out. Seeing the drone, the Russian soldiers managed to escape, but were seriously wounded, and the trench was completely destroyed. Ukrainian forces launched a comprehensive attack on Russian infantry armored carriers. The first targeted Russian armored vehicle, the FPV, was completely destroyed by a kamikaze drone strike. Russian soldiers started fleeing around. Soldiers fleeing the area lost their lives as a result of FPV drone attacks. On the same day, several Russian armored vehicles suffered the same fate. All these attacks show that the Russian army has a great difficulty against drones on the battlefield. This is how the Russian infantry has been repulsed all week in its attempt to break through the Ukrainian positions. In this drone-only operation, Ukrainian forces neutralized a large number of Russian soldiers and destroyed Russian military vehicles. The Russian army's soldiers, spread over vast areas, are a terrifying open target for drones. Soldiers try to shoot down drones or think they can outrun them and escape. All these efforts fail to save Russian soldiers from becoming targets. The vehicles used by the targeted Russian soldiers are usually motorcycles and ATVs. This is to enable Russian soldiers to move faster in difficult terrain individually rather than en masse. This is also done to prevent mass targeting attacks by drones. But the number of FPV drones in the Ukrainian army is much higher than expected. Therefore, only one drone attack can be carried out for one Russian soldier. June 19th, 2025. A Russian BMP-2 under the cover of a T-90M tank is attacking Ukrainian positions when it comes under serious kamikaze attack. Some of the Russian soldiers on the armored vehicle are killed, while others flee into the trees. Ukrainian artillery managed to repel 2 Russian tanks that attacked the trenches of Ukrainian troops near the village of Novoselivske, Luhansk region. The Russian tank T-72 was hit and neutralized by Ukrainian artillery. While Russian soldiers tried to escape from the burning tank, the other tank started to run scared. The activities of Russian troops were detected in the settlement of Kindrativka in Sumy region. Russian soldiers are seen storing ammunition and manning houses in the village. A massive attack with mortars and howitzers began on the Russian troops, whose every move was closely monitored. Ammunition depots were hit by artillery shelling for hours on end. Many Russian soldiers were killed by artillery shelling. A few kilometers from the same area, a large group of Russians were seen entering a house. All Russian soldiers inside were neutralized by airstrikes. The Ukrainian army inflicted heavy losses on Russian forces. A large number of Russian artillery, howitzers and mortars were destroyed during the operation in many different locations. In the attacks with kamikaze drones, Russian artillery camouflaged among the trees were destroyed one by one. In an effort to halt Russia's continued advances, Ukrainian forces have launched a series of coordinated strikes focused on crippling enemy logistics and disrupting battlefield momentum. These operations include sustained artillery bombardments, long-range precision strikes, FPV drone attacks, and sabotage missions deep behind Russian lines. This multi-layered approach aims to break the backbone of Russia's war machine, not just by hitting soldiers at the front, but by cutting off the vital support systems that keep them in the fight. Damaged supply chains, destroyed ammo trucks, and disabled logistics hubs now litter the areas once used to reinforce Russian offensives.